Greetings from the Philippines. If this is your first time on my channel, my name is Craig, and I am originally from Scotland, and I live in Bicol province in the Philippines with my wife and son. So, 7 reasons why you would want to move to the Philippines. Let's get into the video. Okay, number 1, the ladies. Let's just start by saying they're all young and beautiful. Of course, that's not always the case. Filipino girls are very loyal. This is all, by the way, this is all based on my experience. They're caring, loving, and genuine. But don't cross them. If you cross them, yeah, they can be a wee bit fiery sometimes. But in all seriousness, I would say, you know, they're you'll hear guys that have had bad experiences. Of course you will. But that's the same in any country. You know, you go to Thailand, Indonesia, you'll hear, you know, horror stories. But I can only speak on based on my experience. And I would say my wife is, yeah, she's a diamond. She's very thoughtful. She doesn't put any pressure on me, you know, for anything. Very easygoing. I would say, you know, they're also very religious as well. My wife goes to church on a regular basis. Not every weekend, but you know, maybe 1 or 2 days out the month. And you know, I don't see anything wrong with that. I'm not religious myself, but you'll find they are very religious. Trustworthy. I would say very trustworthy. Like I say, you know, this is only based on my experience, and they're good fun. They like to have a drink, have a laugh, but they don't. I mean, I wouldn't say they drink a lot. I haven't seen any that really drink a lot. Yeah, my wife's done it once or twice, but generally pretty steady. I'm the one that usually goes off the ropes. But yeah, I would say she'll have a couple of glasses of wine, 2 or 3 glasses of wine, and that's it. So yeah, I would say that pretty much sums them up. You'll find if you do come to the Philippines, you'll find that you can meet a girl quite easily. But you know, take your time. Just see how it goes. Right. I don't want to make this too long, so let's go on to number 2. Number 2, the climate. So you're in a tropical environment here. That means, you know, you've got a lot of rain. It's very humid, but it's very hot as well. I would say it's similar to countries like Malaysia, Indonesia, and that, you know, you get a lot of rain. But what you'll find is, if you're older, I say older, I mean old like me. To give you an example, when I used to live in Malaysia. It's the same as here. And my mum came over to visit, and my mum suffered from arthritis. When she came over to Malaysia, within a day or 2, it was gone. She said, I can't believe it, it's like complete relief. So my point is, the climate is great. Yeah, it's great if you like lying on the beach or lying, you know, by the swimming pool. But the other bonus is, you know, it's good for your health. I'm not a lover of really, really hot weather, but I'd rather it was like this than freezing cold and, cold and wet and damp. I've had all that growing up in Scotland. I don't want to spend the rest of my days like that. So the climate is a big plus point. Unfortunately, they do get typhoons here, and quite a lot of them. Usually get about 20 a year. But we've been quite lucky in Bicol. We are actually in Albi province and or municipality, and I think the time that we've been here, there's only been one or two that have landed upon us. So I always managed to dodge them. I know that I think it's worse in the south, but where we are, we're actually at the south of Bicol, so near Sorsogon. Number 3, and this is a big one, cost of living. To give you an idea, it's very cheap to rent here. Before we bought this house, I was actually working overseas. I was in the Middle East, and my wife and her sister shared a rented house. Now that consisted of 2 bedrooms, 1 living area and combined kitchen. And that was pretty much it. There, 1 bathroom, but there was no running water. So that cost 6,000 pesos. So that was 3,000 each. I mean, it's cheapy, really cheap. But if you prefer to have some comforts like running water, it would be more than that, obviously. But other things like, even just any food, electric. Our electric bill used to be between sort of 7,000 and 8,000 pesos. But I've since put solar panels on the roof, and now the electric bill, for example, last month, November, was only 1,300 pesos. So the cost of living is definitely a lot less. Our house cost 4 million pesos, by the way, to build it. It wasn't built by me. It was a developer that had, they already had the plans, and it was like a very, very small, I think there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 houses. It's like an L shape, and we're on the small leg of the L, so we've got like a corner unit. But that was 4 million pesos, fully furnished. It was originally 3 bedrooms, but I told them to put 2 bedrooms into 1, so it's 2 bedrooms. But we don't need a big house. Cost of living is definitely up there. Okay, what's the other ones I've got here? Number 4, the people. A nicer people you'll never meet. It's the Filipino people are brilliant. Very friendly. I've always found them very friendly, respectful. They like to have a party, and if you're not invited, you soon will be. I've seen cases where maybe they've been having food and someone walks past, they get invited in for food. Even though they don't have a lot, they always like to share. So definitely the people, and since I've been here, I've always found them to be very respectful, and they go out of their way to make things easy for you. Just this afternoon, when it was raining, I was trying to come out from the petrol station, and it was chaos. Traffic was horrendous because of the rain. And one guy just came over and stopped the traffic to let me go through. That happens all the time. So yeah, number 4, the Filipino people. Number 5, white sand beaches, turquoise clear water. I think there's about 7,100 islands here in the Philippines, and some of them are just stunning. We've been to Palawan, we've been to Boracay, and beautiful. But even like here in Bicol, if you go to the sort of west coast of Bicol, it's just as nice, you know. And they have many resorts, so you'll find where there's a white sand beach, they'll have a resort, and they're not expensive. You know, if you go away from the tourists, it's cheap. Sorry, I've got a bit of a thirst on. So, white sand beaches, number 6. Now, this might be a funny one for some people, but the food. See, I love Asian food. I'm quite happy to have some garlic rice and beef tapas for my breakfast in the morning. I know a lot of expats might be a bit funny about the food, but you know, you can get fried chicken, you can get roasted pork. You don't have to eat what I would call, you know, your typical sort of Asian food. But I like it. I like spicy food, and you can get that here. I mean, it doesn't have to be spicy, but you can get it. So yeah, number 6, the food. Number 7, healthcare. Now, some of you might go, whoa, hang on a minute, healthcare? I don't want to be treated in a Filipino hospital. Well, take it from me, there's nothing wrong with it, because I've been treated in in a local hospital here, and there was no issue, even though they all looked like they were straight out of school. But that's because I'm older, and it's a lot cheaper than, you know, for example, the US. If you're in the States, I know how expensive healthcare is in the States. I lived there for 2 years. I was in Texas back in 2002 and 2003, and even though I had health cover, I was only in the hospital one night, and I didn't have an operation. They just pumped me full of steroids, antibiotics, and I got the invoice, even though it was paid for by the company, and it was $8,000. Are you kidding me? So healthcare here, it's not expensive. I mean, I can't give you an example, but if you're in and out of hospital, even just an overnight stay, you're not going to be paying a lot of money. I think it was my mother-in-law, she was in hospital overnight. I'm trying to remember how much it was. They charged her for the room. It wasn't a lot, it was like $20 or something. I can't remember exactly, but it wasn't a lot. So, listen, this is just the seven reasons why you would want to move to the Philippines. There are going to be situations where you wouldn't want to, reasons why not to move to the Philippines, but that's for another video. This one is just to give you some idea of what you can expect, and why you should make the leap and move to the Philippines. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel and you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers now. Bye.